Yeah.
And we're live.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
We are joined this beautiful morning by Brand Goddess. Hello,
Hello, everybody. How are you?
in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
And
Yes, yes.
just wondering, we follow each other on Instagram
Mm.
and another strong female entrepreneur. So we just having her on today. Ask her to tell us a bit about your business.
Okay. Well, I have been in marketing and PR my whole career in corporate marketing in the States, even in Detroit. New Orleans is where I'm originally from, but always loved to help my friends. I found myself saying, always wanting to be the solutionist when they needed to figure out how to, create their passion, how to make profit off their passion, how to plan anything. I was always that girl, but couldn't articulate it maybe 8 years ago. So as I, transitioned into an entrepreneur about 3 years ago, I took that time to kind of start cultivating what I really wanted to do. And so marketing and PR is what I do in my day to day for my own business, Mojo Marketing and PR here in Nashville, Tennessee, where my brick and mortar clients is what I call it. But I always had girlfriends who didn't have brick and mortar money, and they were like, I do need some help on branding. And some ideas to kind of make me stand out. But I don't have that type of retainer money. I was like, okay, that's good. And I still want to help those folks out. So I just created a profile, Brand Goddess, on social media, maybe about 9 months ago. And I started posting between Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and then even doing some blog podcasts. And it just has been developing since.
Um, that's awesome. I have a question about how you use social media, particularly your Instagram account, to draw new followers and interact with people. Some of the things that we do is we teach people how to use Instagram and social media for their businesses, all sorts of businesses. But what can you tell us about maybe what your most useful tool is for you in Instagram?
Instagram is my favorite, and I'm really trying to get a little more aggressive with it. And I use that because it's becoming a crazy e-commerce platform, but not just for profit for my business, but most brands need to learn the brand to sell. Because that's the end result. Yes, I want a big brand. I want to stand out. I want everybody to know my name, but we also want to make profit. And so I thought Instagram was the best platform to do such. And you're hitting so many people just with a picture. So that was just so easy, and so because folks, if they don't get what you say, they get what they see, and
Right.
so you usually can't go wrong there. And so as a result, I basically do on a daily basis. I'm trying to inform my followers about branding tips, inspiration for my women entrepreneurs, just. And I'm all around eclectic type of girl, so anything that I like to kind of put out there that's inspiring and that can help someone, I use it. But with Instagram specifically, I really research the hashtags. I check before I get started to post, especially if it's a tip from my business,
Mhm.
what popular hashtags are happening that day, specifically that day. So, what was hot yesterday may not be hot today. Girl bosses may be hot today, but yesterday it was gold diggers. Because my audience and my target is preferably women entrepreneurs.
Right.
Very smart. And I noticed too when we communicated on Instagram before that you were very generous and gracious to say to me, whatever I have, you are welcome to use or share. And that's the whole kind of culture that Monica and I like to do as well, because you don't grow anybody or yourself without helping everybody else. So we really got to feel from that. Yeah, and you post really great stuff on Instagram. So
Thank you. Well, and that's it because I used to have folks. Well, make sure you tag me, and I was like, okay, I'll be sure to do that. Especially, but if you're not the original creator of the actual piece, I'm like, okay. But if it's your content with your logo on there, I'll be sure to repost and share under your name because I want to give you credit.
And so we find the same thing with the Instagram. You can share so many things, and I've been tagged like just on my personal account. I've been tagging other people like on certain posts, and just by tagging people, you're like inviting them to come see all the things that you have to offer, not just like your products and services, but also like motivation and inspiration. So yeah, I agree with you with the tagging. It's so important.
Yes, I love that. I love to tag people. And you guys, I've been following you guys for a minute as well. And I just love anybody who's partnering because I know that I have a million ideas a day. And it's like, I would love some of them to get off the ground, but you have to have a team.
You need to have, we need to have like 10 mini-me's, right?
Yes, yes, to get all of that done.
Monica and I are like that. We have to really be organized with our spreadsheets and all sorts of stuff because some days we can be texting each other back and forth and we can go, okay, this is crazy because we have lots of ideas for sure. So it is nice to partner with someone, but yeah, we need to use all our stuff to streamline.
Yes, yes, yes. I use Basecamp. Do you guys do anything? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's what social media lets you do too. You can find interesting people to collaborate with and not necessarily partner with, but you can do cross promotions and you can do all sorts of fun things. And then, you know, kind of have partners in your industry, but in a new sort of way with the whole social media thing. So there's so many opportunities on there. Even just doing what we're doing right now, we're inviting people from both of our networks, well, 3 of our networks here, really, and to share in what we have to say, all 3 of us. So
I love it. Yeah, I love it. I love it because that's exactly where I'm at. Explaining to people that you said the best thing, and I think I'm going to tweet it later on from you, Monica. It is collaboration. This doesn't mean we have to partner. That's just mean let's collab. Let's make sure we both get something out of that. And then partnering is obviously a bigger deal. And sometimes women think that's one and the same, and it's not.
No, and the thing I think that's important to remember is that when you're building, you need to collaborate with people. You can't do everything by yourself, right? Like there's so much you can do together, especially as women in business. Julie has children, and I have, you know, multiple brands, and we're working on so many different things. So it's so nice to have people around that we can work with and collaborate with. And I think that's one of the best tools that we have as women in business today is being able to do that. And I think social media really lets us do that today, you know?
Right. Yes, it does. It does. I'm a big fan of social media, trying to tap into as much social media as possible, to be honest with you. Really training myself in my business to become a growth hacker.
Nice. So what would be maybe one tip that you would have for people if they're just starting out on social media and just starting to get into branding their business or selling their services or products? What would be one of your number one tip?
My number one tip is to come up with a consistent message. Because you may post consistently, you may not post consistently. But when you post, if it's consistent, when someone looks at it, they'll get it. You know, if they look at your page one night on Instagram and everything's consistent as far as you're not doing this one day and doing something another day, they'll get your brand right off bat because that's what social media allows you to do. But if you are, you know, randomly doing various different tactics and it's not consistent to one type of message, you just won't get it because not people, you know, they may see a post tomorrow, they may see a post a week from now. But if both are consistent, they get it. And just an example, I use this phrase on Facebook that I've been doing for about 6 years now amongst friends and associates. And it says, I say, love your minutes after most of my good morning posts or whatever I'm posting. And so people are now using love your minutes hashtag that know me. And have, you know, are expanding, like my girlfriend says, love your minutes. And the reason why is because people know that's attached to me, even though I don't post that every day. I don't post, I haven't, you know, matter of fact, I haven't posted it in weeks, but it's just something that I created. I was actually the first person to post that hashtag. And, you know, I know you can't own hashtags, but you could be first. But, you know, that type. But, so I think consistent messaging. If your message is consistent, no matter how many times you post, even though we want to post every day, we want to blog every day, we want to do all those things. Online, you just want to make sure the message is consistent for what your end goal is.
Perfect.
When we do our online courses, we always tell people that are just starting out that, because sometimes they'll feel overwhelmed, and we say, even if you're only going to post once a week, just commit to doing that because you look like an empty storefront if there's a whole bunch of stuff on Monday and then nothing for 3 weeks, and then people, because people like consistency, they like to see it and predictability, right? And we feel comfortable and we understand that, so that's awesome.
Yeah, I love it. I love it, and they look for it.
Yeah,
they look for it.
Creatures of habit.
Yeah, we are. Awesome. All right, well, thanks so much. That was so nice.
Thank you. You guys, I gotta get to Vancouver.
Yeah,
It
you're.
does.
When
Thank you so much.
Maybe
You
one
guys
day
have a
we'll
great
make
day.
it down there.
Yes. When you make it to Nashville, be sure to call me.
We
And
will.
when I make it to Vancouver, when I make it to Vancouver, believe me, I'll call you guys.
Of course, we'll take you to Stanley Park.
I have a good friend who lives there. We worked at an ad agency here in New Orleans.
Mhm.
In New Orleans, and we're still friends to this day. But yeah, she lives in Vancouver. So,
Oh,
and
nice.
her name is Julie. So yeah, that is about definitely.
We should tag her.
I know.
Tag
The
her.
graphic designer.
Let's tag her.
Enjoy you guys' day. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Have a great
Have a
day.
good one.
All right, have a good one, Hans.